Hello, this is intended to give you a quick tour of the Thingsboard IOT platform. The Thingsboard IoT platform is an open source platform for developing IoT applications that I feel is going to be useful for you in your project. So let's search for Thingsboard. Okay, so this is what we are looking for, the Thingsboard open source IoT platform. So let's use the getting started link so that we can be introduced to it. Okay, so it takes us to the community edition documentation page. Okay, once you take your time to go through this documentation, you should be able to connect devices to Thingsboard, push data from devices to Thingsboard, build real-time end-user application. Yeah, so that is the end-user dashboards. Then define threshold, trigger alarms, and then push notifications about new alarms over emails, SMS, and other systems. Yeah, so that is what this documentation will do for you. Yeah, but to get started, let's look at the prerequisites. To get started, the first thing you have to do is to get your Thingsboard server up and running. All right, so you should get a Thingsboard server up and running. Yeah, there are a number of options for you here. You can choose to go for the live demo, which is yeah, much simpler. I mean, it's not really requiring you to do a lot of things. Yeah, so you can start with a live demo. Then later on, you can try installing the server on your PC. And with that, there are two options, either Windows or Linux. Both of them are supported. Okay, but mostly the Linux is recommended for, let's say, robustness and stability reasons. Yeah, but the Windows will work as well, but they recommend Linux. Yeah, but if you have a Windows PC, you just go ahead with it, and then you can use this link here to get to the installation guidelines. All right, so let's look at the installation guidelines here for Windows. So once you go to the link, there are a number of options there. We have the Windows guidelines here, and you may want to use Docker together with Windows, or Docker and then Mac OS. Okay, so whichever option you want here, you choose the option. There are also others like Ubuntu and so on. So let's stick to the Windows. So we select the Windows option here, and then they are giving us a number of recommendations here before we move. So they recommend that we use the Thingsboard Cloud. Yeah, that one is fully managed, is scalable, is fault tolerant for your IoT applications. Yeah, but the point is that, I mean, it's a cloud server you'll be using, so you'll be paying for it, which we don't want to do at this moment. Yeah, and here they are also giving you a link to the Linux installation guidelines, which is recommended. Okay, but if you don't have Linux, you want to go ahead with Windows installation, then these are the prerequisites here. Either Windows 10, Windows 8.1, 8, 7, 32-bit and 64 bits all work all right. And then minimally you should have 2 GB RAM. That is if you have to install Thingsboard and then the PostgreSQL. So yeah, so those will be the requirements there. So step one, you need to install Java 11. So you can use this link to download the MSI file, and then you install it. Then with the database, you can also use PostgreSQL, and you can use this download link here to download it. Okay, and there are a couple of settings you do um, with the instructions below. So once you follow them, they are pretty simple to do. You should just follow them, and then you get a system set up properly. Okay, so yeah, so that is the guidelines for Windows installation. There are a number of things you will do. So once you get to the documentation, you should follow it through. And let's get back to look at the other steps here. So yeah, step one is the provisioning a device. How do you provision a device? I will be doing that in the next video I'll be sending to you. Okay, so for now it's just what to introduce you to the Thingsboard platform and the live demo, how to what yeah, set up an account with the live demo. So let's get to the live demo, which is what we should start with. So I'm going to click this link to take us to the live demo. All right, so let's get to the live demo. You'll be required to what create an account if this is your first time. Yeah, but I have an account already, so I'll just go to sign in and not sign up. But you have to sign up. Yeah, so I will be required to sign in from here. Okay, so once you hit the sign in, you have to refresh the page. All right, so now I have the sign in options here. Either I want to sign in with my Google account, and that was what I used to create the Thingsboard account. So I'm going to sign in with Google. You may choose to use Facebook or GitHub or yeah, your Apple account and so on. So let's sign in with Google account here. So I'll pick I have a number of Google accounts, so I'll just pick one of them. All right, so this is the Thingsboard IoT platform. So it's a platform for you to do a lot of things. Okay, so you can see from the menu here, we have a number of items there. We have assets, which are very important, and devices, which are also very important. These devices will represent the physical sensor devices that you'll be deploying to either measure some yeah, environmental phenomena and so on. So we have the devices there. Later on, I wouldn't configure devices now, so I'll do that in another video. So this is just meant to be short and such that it can familiarize you with the platform. So these are the devices. So let's open the devices, and then you have a number of default devices because we are using live demo. So these are devices that other people have created. Okay, so later on we'll be learning how to create our own, and then perhaps yeah, selecting some particular devices so that we don't we are not bothered with what devices that other people have created. All right, so let me take you back home. So you can see that in the home page, there are a number of use cases there. Okay, so I think this is a welcome message here. All right, so we have a number of demo use cases there. We have somebody has created a demo for environmental monitoring. So let's look at it. Okay, so you can read more about it from here. Yeah, so this is a snapshot. Okay, so with that I mean you have your map here. So the area you are monitoring, you can capture it on the dashboard, and then if you are measuring some phenomena, you can indicate them like PM 2.5, carbon monoxide, carbon dioxide, sulfur dioxide, and so on. So you can measure all of these things here, and then you can use some other charts and so on. So let's see. Yeah, so you can see they've used some chart here to represent some measurements they have done over a period of time. And yeah, okay, so this is the map. So you can have the map, you can have charts, yeah, and so on. Okay, all right, so let's scroll down to see. Yeah, so this is for environmental monitoring. So in this particular use case, I mean, you learn how to add new sensors, change location of a sensor, configure alarm threshold, and then browse historical data. So that is what they have just done here. Yeah. So and then you can what? Um, okay. So they also measure temperature, and then they have the mobile app for this particular dashboard. Okay, so yeah, so usually you don't use physical sensors because I mean it involves money. You have to what it's a project you are doing, and then you may want to buy sensors, but there is no need for you to really buy the sensors because we can simulate the sensors. So this particular curl statement here is used to simulate sensors. So it means that the physical sensors that you would have deployed, you no longer deploy the sensors, but you use this code, you execute it on command prompt, and then it will be sending sensor readings to your dashboard. Okay, so it will be as if you have deployed what physical sensors that are what sending you what sensor readings to your dashboard, and then you can display them with all manner of charts and so on. Yeah. So later on we'll learn how to use this curl statement on command prompt, and then we'll develop sensors or devices, yeah, that will display whatever information is sent from these statements. Yeah, but there are also other ways of doing it, which is even much more preferable because I mean you can use some JavaScript or even Python scripts and so on to what simulate the sensors. Yeah, so usually once you do it that way, it will be continuous. You can design it to send random what readings continuously what to your dashboard. Yeah, so that is what I want us to do at the end of the day. We want to use what some JavaScript that will simulate our sensors, and they will be sending us random readings as if we had deployed the physical sensors, and then they are sending us readings. Yeah, I think that will save us a lot of money. Yeah. Okay. So if you want to look at this particular, yeah, this particular use case, you can log into what the live demo, the live demo platform using this particular email as the username, and then the password is customer. Okay, so if you want to see this particular use case on environmental monitoring, yeah, you can log into it using these credentials here. Okay, so we also have what the air quality monitoring. So you can read more about it here as well, and then you can also what log into it. You can also log into it using some credentials here. So you can see that all these people, they are not using sensors. They've not deployed sensors physically. They've developed applications, all right. Yeah. So this person, for instance, is measuring what or is sending the readings of what carbon dioxide. Yeah. So this is sending carbon dioxide readings. So once you run it on what your command prompt, it will be sending carbon dioxide readings to what your Thingsboard applications that you can use. Okay, so look at them, try your hands on them, and then see how you what understand them, and probably you can improve on these things. Okay, so we also have another use case here for electric vehicle charging stations. Yeah. Okay, so that is the Thingsboard platform. I'm going to stop here, and then I'll come again with a second video on actually developing what devices sending data or sensor readings to the devices, and then displaying them on the dashboard. Okay, all right, so that is it for this particular video.